Hey, welcome back to the Raw and Real podcast. I'm super excited to have another incredible guest joining me today. So we have a beautiful Laura. Laura, welcome to the pod.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited.
You are so welcome. Now, I was just gushing over Laura's hair. So if you haven't got your video on, go and have a look because it is just so beautiful. And I love how it just matches our brand colors. So that was like not planned at all.
Right? Not planned at all. I just happen to love the color.
Beautiful. I love it. So, Laura, I have never met you before. I don't know much about you. I feel like you're maybe at an advantage here. You know more about me than I do you. So, give us an insight into your world, into who Laura is and what you're all about.
Yeah. So I am multi-entrepreneurial. I'm trying not to have too many businesses, just a couple that I'm focusing on.
I feel
But
that.
I dove into that full speed last year. I was doing it on the side for a lot during my corporate time and dove into that full speed last year. But me as a person, I don't know. I'm a Midwest girl. I live in Arizona now, but I always knew like I wanted to see the world bigger and like was so interested by culture. So I studied international business for both my bachelor's and my master's. So I've traveled the world a bit. I have a lot more to see, but I absolutely love cultures. I'm a big scuba diver. I love scuba diving. I could retire on a beach and just scuba dive every day. That would be my dream right now. But yeah, I kind of got into entrepreneurship in my master's program and just was seeing needs that were not being solved. And so I actually had some classmates that were like, you need to do this, Laura. So anyway, that there's a lot about me. I think I'm a pretty multifaceted person, but that's a short summary, I guess.
I love it. And of course, you're multifaceted because you were drawn to the pod. So I feel like that is just all of us here. We're like, we can't be squidged into a box that like tells us we can only be one thing. That doesn't work for us. So, okay, there's so much that I want to dive into here first. Firstly, I have to say, Arizona, I love that you're from there because that is one of the places that really calls me. And I mean, I haven't even started planning the next event after Austin yet, but I
Okay.
am kind of like leaning towards Arizona. So you never know. We could be there next. I love that.
Yeah, Phoenix area where I live, but Arizona in general is actually known for innovation. So it's definitely a place that you want to be.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Are you like from there originally?
Originally, I grew up in Iowa, so Midwest, like girl, not as small, not that small of a town, but kind of a small town kind of girl. So I moved around a bit. I actually lived in Hawaii for some time. I lived in South Carolina for some time, and then I just ended up settling in Arizona for a number of years now.
I love it. I love it. I've never been there, but Phoenix in particular really calls me. I mean, you know, like the
I
name.
know exactly. I saw the Phoenix, like I was like, oh, I think she might need to do an event here.
I know, yeah. And I know quite a few people in that hub as well. So yeah, I'm really drawn to it. I want to ask you, okay, I want to deviate. I want to go into this
Yeah.
quickly and then we'll go on to something else. But I want to ask you, because from what I know of Arizona, it's a very big spiritual vortex and really amazing energies in the place. I just like even talking about it gives me goosebumps. So for you, are you a spiritual person? And then secondly, would you say that that is what you feel from that area as well?
You know, it's interesting. I just had did another podcast, and they're kind of like faith based. And I said, you know, I'm not a religious person, but I
Yeah,
think I have a lot of people that call me more of a spiritual person.
yeah.
I don't like to, as we said at the beginning, put myself into a box. I don't like to say I don't know what is out there. I don't know
Mhm.
what is expected for me later in life. But I feel a sort of need to I don't know, some people call it karma, right? I just feel like there's a thing that like I want to put good out into the universe. Good draws good back,
Yeah.
right? So I think there is a lot of that out here. I have a lot of friends and fellow entrepreneurs that are in like the holistic space,
Yeah.
right? So there's like a naturopathic school out here. And while that's not spiritual, it tends to kind of draw like that type of person that has more of a mind that's
Open.
open to what the world and our universe has to offer. So, I mean, I don't know that I label myself any one way, whether that be spiritual or religious or whatever. But it's funny because I have friends that call me more spiritual because I there's some sort of inner gut feeling of like, I don't know, I need to put good out into the universe.
Do you know, I love that. I mean, I'm similar. I'm not religious at all, but for me, I believe in energy. I believe in frequency. I believe in the universe. I believe in the laws of the universe. You know, what you give with one hand, you get with the other. Like all of those kind of reciprocations
Yeah.
and laws like that. And for me, I think that's what I really see spirituality as. It's like you don't need to justify it to anyone. You don't need to preach it to anyone. It's just something that you feel
Yeah.
like a deeper connection to. And, you know, not all of us want to or feel the need to label that as something. It's just like, you know what? I feel a connection to something greater than me. No idea what it is, but that's fine.
Yeah, I'm sort of comfortable with the uncomfortable or the unknown that really bothers a lot of people. And I'm not going to pretend I know what is there, what is out there, what is not. It's just, but I'm okay with that. Like that
Yeah.
doesn't give me any anxiety. Because at the end of the day, I do what makes me feel good. Because I always think about the Friends episode of like, there's no such thing as a selfless good deed because
Yes.
at the
I was
end,
watching that the other day.
love that, right? Because that just speaks to me so much. Because of course it makes you feel good. Like it should. It should feel good to do good and put good into the universe. And I really do believe that there's like some. I've seen instant karma happen. I've seen not so instant karma happen. It just happened to me on a flight not too long ago. We were just really, my friend and I were really nice to a young mother with a baby in her lap, and we just did some nice things for her. And then magically, a seat opened for her to move over, have extra seat for her and her baby. Then my friend and I got an extra seat with us to kind of spread out. Like it's just instant, instant, right? And it's not always that way, but I don't know. I guess that's what I think of when I think of spirituality.
I love that because I always like the way that I view it and how I talk to people when they're maybe not of that mindset or they're intrigued, you know, they're curious and they're like, what does it mean to you? I always see like everything is frequency. And it's like whatever frequency you're on, there's no good or bad. It's just like it is what it is, right? Like, of course, there's higher and lower, but it's not good or bad. And whatever frequency you're on, that is the world that you see. So that is why, unfortunately, bad things generally happen to people who are more often than not in a lower frequency. Not always the case, obviously, but 9 times out of 10, I do think that you can look at things and you're like, okay, you've got trauma, you know, okay, maybe you're unhappy in a lot of areas in your life. Like there's things that keep you on a lower frequency, not through any desire to be, but maybe just because you haven't done the work. And the same goes for when you're on a higher frequency, again, not good or bad. It's just like you're vibrating at, you know, I'm always looking at the positives. I'm always looking at how is this happening for me and not to me, even when it might seem quote unquote bad to others. It's the way that we interpret that. And it's like, okay, I could let this, you know, not kill me, but it's like what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Like you get to choose what you do with it, right? And I think it's just whatever frequency you're on, that's what you attract into your life. That's how I see spirituality.
Yeah, no, I'm actually really big on I can't choose what happens to me because things will happen to you, but I can choose how I react to it.
Exactly.
And even if I don't react immediately the way that I want to in the moment, there's always the next hour. There's always the next minute. There's always the next day to say, okay, I am going to shift how I'm thinking about this, right? Because bad things happen, of course. Right? That it's just life, right? But what I can do is choose my reaction to it, my behavior to it, my next steps to it, right? Like that is my choice. And that I think
Yeah.
has power.
I love that. Yeah. And you can always change that. Laura, okay, right. So
Yeah.
we've done that bridge. I love that conversation. But I really, really do want to talk to you about the entrepreneurial world, because you said that you've only just like gone headfirst into this
Head
in the
first
last year.
last
So I'm
year.
like, oh, fresh blood. Like, you're new to this world. So talk to us about, you know, where you were, what happened, what pivoted you into going all in, where you are now. Obviously you said that you're multi-passionate as well, so like give us an overview of that kind of last couple of years and bring us up to speed with where you are now, and then I want to chat all stuff about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I started my business actually like 10, 12 years ago, but it was on the side. And I worked full time during the whole time. And I just got to this point where things are not necessarily happening. So when I quit my job last year, it's been about a year and a half so far. People were like, "Oh, I didn't know your business was doing that well," and I said, "It wasn't." That's why I quit, because I can't expect it to give to me if I'm not giving to it, right? So I was like, I need to put into this all of my energy, all of my focus, and really go for it. And if it fails, it fails. Like, that's okay to me, but I know I tried. I know I did it. I know I went after it. I didn't necessarily think of myself as an entrepreneur like growing up, and like what really realized what that meant. It was actually during a grad school class on entrepreneurship that I was like, oh, I'm like frustrated, like by the industry, and my classmates were like, Laura, you can do something about that and do your own business. And I was like, oh yeah, I can. That's why didn't I think of that? Like, I can just do that. So yeah, last year I decided to quit, and I have like a main business and something else that I'm kind of working on now as well. But I was really frustrated with the bra industry. Like, that's what I do. I'm a bra fitter. And I just was like, there's nothing out there for people like in my size that's like, I don't know. It just was really frustrated. So it was entrepreneurship, as with most entrepreneurs, born out of pure frustration. Where I was just like, I am so sick of not being seen and heard by the industry that I'm going to be that for other people, because I want it for myself. So I started becoming it for myself. And then I was like, I'm going to do this for other people. This is great. So yeah, now I have another business that it wasn't my own frustration, but I'm seeing other people be frustrated by. And I was like, I think I can help. I know why they're frustrated. So yeah, I went all in last year, and I had saved up. That was part of some of the delay was I was like, okay, financially I need to, my business is not cutting it, right? So I was like, I got to save up for this. So that is the raw part of starting a business. Money comes not immediate.
You know that, right? I love this conversation, and I've had it before, but a long time ago. So a lot of you guys listening probably haven't heard me speak about this, because when you first start, there is this mentality of almost martyrdom, right? And it's like, I have to go all in or I'm not seen seriously, and I can't have a job because then I'm not seen seriously, and people say that I'm not all invested in my business. And whilst, yes, like you, Laura, that is a point where you have to kind of jump ship and be like, I am all the fuck in here, there is also a lead-in point to that. And if you do not get yourself financially secure for a period of time, whatever period of time feels good to you for your nervous system, it's different for everyone. Exactly. But if you don't do that, and you also don't juggle having, a business and being employed for a while until one balances out the other, then you are operating from lack, from scarcity, and you cannot magnetize your dream clients' abundance, the business of your dreams, when you are operating from that place, because it's a frequency that people can feel, whether you think that they can or not. Like, it is undeniable, and it will leak through in your content, the way that you show up, everything that you say, everything that you do, and how you do it. So I love that you actually took your time and that you thought about it, and you were like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna jump, but I'm gonna do it in a way that feels good to me, and I need X amount in the bank, and when I've got that, that's when I'm gonna go all in. And you did it, right? That's the important bit. Then you did it. You didn't like kind of put it off again and be like, oh, I need more, or you actually did the thing. So
Yeah.
I love that. How has it felt from then until now?
Yeah. So it's interesting because yes, that number is different for everybody, and I'll tell you that number went faster than I thought. So whatever you're thinking, maybe think more,
Yeah.
but that's okay. I'm okay with that, right? But I'm now at the point of like, okay, I got to make some things happen, and I'm not really not from a scarcity standpoint. I don't necessarily feel that. I mean, maybe a little, right? If I'm being really honest with myself, but more from like, okay, I just need to make some things happen. It's that time, but I'm regardless, I don't want to go back to corporate because it just brings me so much joy. Like I love this, and I have found my community, and it's taken me about a year and a half to do that. And there's just some really amazing people doing really amazing things here. And so I'm like, now I'm like, okay, I'm looking at my reports and I'm like, okay, the business is growing and things are moving, right? So I'm like, okay, I just need them to move a little faster, but that's all right with me, right? Like, it just really took me some time, but I feel so good about it. And I'm just so happy I did it because I didn't realize my time in corporate. And yes, I did the purple in corporate. um, at some point, there's a whole thing behind that, but it just makes me feel like I'm authentically me doing what I'm doing. And I have the freedom to be what I want to be. And there's just so much joy that I'm getting out of this journey.
I love that so much. So tell me, so you mentioned that you have like a couple other things going on. So what are the other things going on for you? And like, how does it feel juggling more than one thing?
Yeah, it can be really tough. And there are opinions sometimes on like pick one thing, and I'm like, but nobody's one thing. Like no human is one thing. So like that's now if I'm going to an event, I talk about one thing. Right? I try not to talk about everything, but ultimately I'm like people are multifaceted and it's okay to have all of that. But one thing that I was seeing, so I do a lot of networking things and events and whatever, and people struggle talking about themselves, their business, and they just get, even if it's in a small group, they still get, it's like a public speaking, like nervousness. And while I'm not perfect at it, one thing I always got in corporate was that I was good under pressure and I was good at just talking. I would be on client meetings with like 200 people and like we'd be getting yelled at and like, you're not doing good. And I would just jump in and start talking. And so but I attribute this back to my younger days when I did improv. So
Oh, I love
I, yeah, I'm just, it's the yes and of it, right? Like, yeah, okay, you're mad, client, that's fine, and let's figure out a solution, right? Like, I didn't argue with it. So I decided I was seeing some people struggle in my groups with, like, they're confident people. It's not that there was a lack of confidence, but not everyone has just got that. I don't know. It's different word than confidence, right? They just don't have the practice of like being comfortable with the uncomfortable. Is where I started with the beginning, right? Like that's fine. I'm okay. Throw me into any situation, I'll figure it out. So I started doing this improv for business idea, and I've got a ton of people interested, and I barely even started. But they're just like, oh my God, I want to do this so bad because I can see how this will help so much. Like we're going to do, it's really very business focused, right? So like networking, being interviewed on a panel or like whatever.
Yeah.
So it's improv, but like kind of driven towards that. So it will be funny, it will be comedy. But yeah, I'm like, it's okay to not be perfect. Like it doesn't matter.
Laura, I have to tell you, I think that is gold. I actually think you have got a really, really good idea on your hands there, because that is something like I've looked at improv before. I haven't actually ever done it, but I've definitely looked into it. And I think so many people, so many entrepreneurs, our voice is our vehicle.
Yeah.
It's obviously what I talk about in my world. It's your personal brand, it's your authority, it's your credibility, it's your leadership, it's everything. And if you don't have the confidence to articulate it in a way that actually shows that, then that will impact your personal brand, and that will impact how people view you, and that will impact essentially how much they're going to pay you, if they're going to pay you. So it all leads back to the fundamental money in the door. And, we're all in business, right? We're all in business.
Yeah.
If you want to sit on your white horse and pretend it doesn't matter, then don't be ridiculous. Like, it matters.
Yeah.
So I think what you're doing is incredible. And I swear to God, like, that could be so huge. Like, that could be so huge. I really think you've got a massive movement, a massive like opportunity on your hands with that. And I'm really, really excited that you've just shared us with that, like, in the early days. So let me ask you on that note, what is your vision for it at the moment?
Yeah. So, why I'm drawn to what you had with the real and raw is where I'm kind of going with the improv piece of it, right? So we're kind of doing some fictitious things with the improv, but it's really just to get you out of your head and stop trying to memorize the script, right? They're like, elevator pitch, go. And people are reading this script and it's awful. And then some of us have, and I know a confidence coach, and she and I are like, stop, just tell us from your heart. Like, and I was like, I remember that so much more now. Like, that's so different. So the idea with improv is, okay, I'm going to give you a fictitious business, right? Underwater basket weaving, you're an expert, go, right? And you just have to make it up. Now, do I want you to just make up like who you are, what your business is? No, but the point is get out of your head, stop overthinking it, and just speak from your heart. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And so that's where I'm going with it. And I think, it can be for entrepreneurs, it can be for people in business. I used it a lot with my clients. I used it a lot in de-escalation, right, of customers and clients. And so it's just, I want people to get out of their head in a really fun way, because we can have fun with it. It's not that serious. And it's just not. It's not that serious. We're all humans, and I want to see you being a human, because that's who I want to buy from. That's who I want to work with. Yeah. I'm so tired of the fakeness that has become some of our social media, and it's really what's prompted me in seeing your pod. And like, I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I have to be the change that I want to see. So I can't complain about it if I'm not willing to be it. So I'm out here and I'm doing it.
I tell you what, right? Synchronicity is everything. I do not believe in coincidence. And the last person that I interviewed in the pod, or in the last two that I interviewed, I can't remember exactly, and she probably hasn't been out by the time this one is out, but you guys will be very close. And I can't remember her name, so I'm really bad with names. But she was a comedy writer. That was what she did. And we were just talking about the importance of humor, of enjoying the ride. And I actually did a post the other day where I was like dancing around, shaking my butt at the camera. And it's like, when did business become so serious?
Yeah.
Like, I'm out here building a personal brand, like creating a movement, selling out masterminds, etc., whilst I'm shaking my butt at the camera. The point is so many people think that being serious means like putting a mask on and having to pretend that you're something that you're not. You can be very serious about what you do. Like, I am very serious about what I do, but I am also like the biggest kid around. I am also like a huge goofball, and I will not apologize for having a sense of humor and being able to help people. It doesn't have to be either or. So I freaking love so much what you're doing. It fills my soul, because I think it's so needed. And everyone listening right now, I'm sure you're nodding along of like, yes, it's that liberation. Like, that's what Real and Raw is all about. It's that liberation, that freedom, that expression of dropping the weight, dropping the act, dropping the performance, and like, this is who I am. And you're telling me I get to be me? Like, what a novelty. But yes, we are telling you that.
Yeah, and that's why I did my hair this way. Like, I've been doing it, I think, 10 years now. And it changes colors, by the way, all the time. Blue, purple, green, combinations of those. I've done 3 colors at once. But I started doing it even in corporate, and it was just about being me. It's not I'm not doing it to cover up my real hair color. I mean, it does, of course, but I just enjoy it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yes, there
And
was
you know
things
what?
that
Even
led
if you
me
were
to it.
doing it for that doesn't matter. Like,
I
I'll
don't
tell
need
you,
more
I
reasons,
went to
right?
my to get rid of my grays.
Whatever. I have makeup on. But I love to play with color. I love to have fun with that. I love to just be me. And so I just decided after a few stressful events in my life, like I don't care anymore. Like I've never really cared that much, but
Yeah.
I care less and less and less as I get older. And trust me, I did not care when I was younger. So when I get to be 80, it's going to be hilarious. But how little I care. But it brings me so much joy to do my hair this way. Like I don't know why.
And who cares?
And who cares? Exactly. I'm just me.
Expression is key. Yeah. And you know what? On that note, I want to kind of round this off with this conversation because I think this is really, really important for everyone listening. Like, let this be your permission slip. So I am on the podcast. I'm wearing like a big baggy t-shirt, right? Like, I am not someone who actively, what I would say, dresses up on a daily basis. Like, it's not who I am. I like to be comfy. I like to be slouchy. Like, sometimes, yes, but most of the time, no. And just because I'm doing a podcast, I will not try and be something that I'm not because I'm on camera. Now, some people will say, but then, you know, that is affecting your authority and your credibility. But what they're misinterpreting is that authority and credibility is in how you look. It's not in how you look, it's in who you are. It's in how you carry yourself. It's in the energy behind your words and why you say them and how you say them. It has absolutely nothing to do with how you look. Yes, you can be professional and still wear a baggy t-shirt, still have purple hair, still be who you really are and be taken seriously and build a name and a reputation and a brand for yourself. So I really want to hammer that home. If anyone is listening, thinking, you know, I don't want to have to put on makeup. I don't want to have to dress up. I don't want to have to wear a suit. Whatever it is for you, you don't have to. No. You get to be you, but with the caveat of you have to own it. Like, you can't just be a slob, right? Like, that's different. Like, I'm not here being a slob. It's just generally who I am, and I am very confident and comfortable with how I look. And I think that is the difference.
And here's the thing. There are people that judge me for the way I look, and I know there are people that judge you for the way you look. And that's, to me, I'm okay with that because I can tell right away, and I'm pretty good at reading people. And if you're judging me based on how I look, then that's a you problem. That's not a me problem. And right? And I'm okay with that. Like, please, because it actually tells me going into it that looks matter to you. And so if you're judging me for the color of my hair, for the way you dress, what else are you judging someone for that they can't control? Right? So yes, you and I are controlling this, but I just love to be me authentically. And if you don't like that, I am okay with that.
Yeah.
Not in a rude way, but in a...
you anyway. Like, so at least let them judge you for being you, not like for some act.
Exactly. Right, exactly. They're going to judge regardless. So you might as well just be you. And I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and I'm completely fine with that, right? Because it attracts those that are into my inner circle, into my world, that are the kinds of people that I want in my world because they see me and they go, look at you, you're fun. Right? And I'm like, I try to be.
Absolutely. Oh my God. I love this conversation so much. I feel like we could probably just talk for hours and hours. So I'm like, okay, we've been half an hour. We should probably wrap up here. But this is incredible. I love your energy so much. Like, you are going to go big places with this improv thing. I am telling you, this is going to be really big. And I'm so excited to watch this journey for you. Laura, give everyone a shout out where they can come and get into your world.
Yes. So since I'm just getting that started for the improv thing, I think the best place is to find me on Instagram. I have a couple of profiles. I have my bra business on there. That's BUSTDD. which I just love all the puns and the humor with that. And then my other one,
that one.
no one wears the right size, and actually, you're probably closer than you think to a D or W. But anyway, once you get into my world with that. But for my other account, it's lifted up with Laura. So like lifted up with Laura is my other Instagram, and I'll be definitely putting out some more improv stuff. I have my first class tomorrow with that, but I've already scheduled the second class with some another group. So it's definitely, I think, going to be going someplace.
I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for you. Oh my gosh. And you guys listening, remember that general admission tickets for Austin are now on sale. They are on early bird right now. So $599 instead of $999 for both full days. We've got the private mansion, lakeside pool. We have a pool party going on, Wild Wealthy Woman. We have the most incredible DJ joining us. Oh my God, I'm just so pumped for this. It's going to be incredible. We have sponsor tables available right now as well. So bring your community, bring your clients, bring your girlfriends, like make a weekend of it. It's going to be like this energy, but in person. I cannot wait for you to all join us there. You can head over right now to get your tickets, phoenix-rise.co.uk. Laura, thank you so much for joining me. This has been so much fun. And until next time, I will see you all soon for your Girls' Night In. Mwah. Bye for now.